Hey guys, today I'm telling a story about Monster University. So let's start. Mike Wazowski had a dream of being a scarer ever since he was a little monster. Finally, he was taking the first step. He was starting classes at Monster University, the best school of scaring in the world. Mike went through the dorm and unpacked all his plans were falling into place. Now I just need to ask my classes granted with horrors and become the greatest scarer ever, he told himself. When classes began, Mike was ready. He answered every question and learned every scare. He was sure his dream would come true. But there was another monster who did not taking scaring as seriously as Mike did. James Sulley was the son of the legendary scarer Bill Sulley. He thought that being big and having a loud door was enough to make him a scarer. Sulley was a member of the Roar family. He had his friend thought Mike was too small and funny looking to be scared. When the Roar brothers found out when Mike was getting better grades at Sulley, they were angry. The Roar president gave Sulley a warning. If he didn't bring up his grades, he had to kick out the family. Soon the day of Mike Sulley exam arrived. Each student had to perform in a scare simulator. Dean Hartskill, the head of the School of Scaring, would be watching. As Mike and Sulley waited for their turn, they got into the drawing contest. Sulley stumbled backward and knocked into Dean Hartskill's record-breaking scream they can crushed into the ground and break it. Furious, Dean Hartskill kicked both Mike and Sulley out of the scaring program. Mike was upset, but he had a plan. He settled to a deal or then had Scrabble. The annual scare game were coming up. If we could win first prize, he would be let back into the scaring program. Dean Hartskill agreed, but she had a condition of her own. If Mike lost, he would leave Monster University forever. Mike agreed. Now he had to find a team for a scare game. He had no choice but to find family to join. He regularly joined Uzma Kappa, the least scary group on campus. His new favorite brother were Don, Squishy, Art, and Terry. Sulley, who had been kicked out of the war, also recently joined Uzma Kappa. The first contest in the scare was Toxie Challenge. The teams had to get from one to the end short to the other while avoid stinging slow irritations. The race started and Mike and Sulley took off running. There was just one problem. The team had to finish together. Uzma Kappa came in last in the challenge. That meant they were out of the scare games. Then one other teams were disqualified for cheating. The Ukas came back. The next day, the Ukas reviewed some of their talents. When Mike and Sulley, John said he told Silly and Tentacles more loud moping noise. Terry and Terry claimed there was master's clothes and magic in the meetings, but their card's trick was a fail. Mike shook his head. From now on, we are one mind, my mind, he said. Sulley rolled his eyes. You tell them what to do, but not me, he told Mike. The second scare game event took place in the library. The teams had to capture the flag before getting caught by the library. Sulley tried to get the flag on his own, but he failed. The team was sure they got lost, and Squishy showed up nowhere with the Oka flag. The Oaks had came in the fourth place. Mike and Sulley realized that although the team was still in the game, it was no thanks to them. It was where it's going to win. They would have to work together. Mike thought the Okas would scare he knew. Between drills, he had them run in a place to practice their scary feat. Soon, even Sulley was becoming a better scarer. The Uzma Kappa's training paid off. They came in second in Don't Scare the Team and made it through the hide and seek challenge. The Okies were heading into the finals against the Roars. When he get back to the scaring farm, I hope there are no hard feelings, Sulley told Ginsburg. But she wasn't so sure they would win. Tomorrow each of you must prove you're scared, and I know one of you is not, Dean said. Sulley knew that she meant Mike. He didn't want to believe her, but she couldn't help thinking the same Mike meant. The next morning, the Roars and the Okas each took turns in the scare simulator. Mike was the last member of the Okas to perform his share. He entered the room, crept up into the bed, and roared. The robot child sat bolt upright and screamed. Mike's scare had given Okas the highest. They had won the scare games. The Okas hosted Mike onto their shoulder, and employees burst into applause. Mike happened, so it didn't last long. He soon discovered that Sulley had rigged the controls on the simulator. Mike's difficulty level had been switched from hard to easy. He couldn't believe it. Well, what am I supposed to do? Sulley blurted out. Let the whole team fall because you don't have it? Mike stormed, angry. Mike stole a key to the door teach lab. He put a screen can place power out to the door and stepped into the cabin full of human children. But they didn't find Mike scary. They thought he was cute. Back on the campus, alarms are going off all over the place. Hargos and her security guards raced to the door teach lab. The Okies distracted the guards as Sulley slipped through the door after Mike. I thought I could show everyone that Mike Wazowski is something special, Mike said once Sulley found him. Sulley told Mike that he had a message mess things up in the entry life too. I'll never know how you feel, but you're not the only failure, he said. Mike and Sulley returned to the cabin. The door back to the university had been powered down. They were trapped. Working together, they scared everyone in the cabin. But in the door teach lab, all the screams and fell up to the top. Dean Harrison watched in despair as the door exploded and Mike and Sulley blasted into the room. Mike and Sulley had performed an epic scare, but they were still kicked out of the breaking school rules. Suddenly Mike had another idea. There's still one way we could work at a scare company, he said. Soon Mike and Sulley were working at Monster in the Sea as the newest employees in the mailroom. Team Wazowski and Sulley was on the way. So guys, that was the end of the story. If you like that story, smash the like button and like my channel. Bye.